Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. In this video, I wanted to show you there's a good pho restaurant in an area with few Vietnamese restaurants. Today we're in Flushing on Northern Boulevard. In this tightly packed area with many restaurants, we find Pho Che, a Vietnamese noodle restaurant squeezed in the middle of a tiny strip mall. The affordable menu is simple yet extensive. There's pho, banh mi, fried rice, barbecue meats over vermicelli, and bubble tea. Hi, today we're at Northern Boulevard. We're back to our favorite neighborhood. So we are at Pho Che, which is a Vietnamese restaurant. They serve an assortment of Vietnamese dishes, and from what I can see on their menu, they have banh mi, they have pho, they have rice dishes, and they have vermicelli dishes. And the vermicelli dish, from what I can see, comes with a spring roll, so it's a bit of a combination. They sell a pork chop and a pork chop combo and some dishes and bubble tea. I noticed they have bubble tea and some slushes, so that would be pretty interesting. What I'm planning to do today is to order an assortment of dishes as usual and show you what the dishes are like. I by no means am a expert on Vietnamese food. All I can tell you is if the food is delicious or not, and about the quality. I ordered the Taro Slush. The first drink that I ordered is a Taro Slush, is what it looks like, and let's give this a try. Wow, this is actually pretty good. It's super creamy, almost like real taro. I'm pretty sure they use the taro powder, but for some reason they make the crystals really small, and the flavor that I have is actually a very creamy flavor, and I kind of like this. This is actually pretty good, and it's not too sweet. It's sweet, but not too sweet. For appetizers, we ordered the fried spring roll, which came 4 to an order. We ordered some spring rolls, and they look like this. They're pretty small, as my finger. So there came 4 in one order, and I'm going to dip it into that fish sauce. Okay, and we're going to give this a try, see what's actually inside. From what I can tell, there's vermicelli noodles in here, some carrots, and let me see if there's some meat in here. I'm not sure if I taste any meat. Okay, there's an eensy-weensy tiny bit of meat in here. It looks like it. And there are some wood air mushrooms. See the little brown part? Nicely salted, and I think I like this. It's definitely made in the restaurant, not a store-bought type of reheated deal. My brisket and tendon and steak pho has finally come. This is the small size, and I see that there's onions. I see a lot of aromatics like scallions and parsley and cilantro on top, and I see all the meat. Now, what we would normally do when we start eating this is to put in some of the stuff in here, and also some of the peppers in here. And let's see what it looks like once I stir it around. Now the water is the soup is extremely hot, and here you can see the noodles, and the noodles seem to be pretty firm, so I think it needs a little time to be cooked in the broth. As it turns out, there are 19 varieties of pho you could order, running from $10.49 all the way to $16.49. And now I believe the pho is ready to eat. Now the noodles are nice and tender. You see over here. So let's first try the noodles, see how they are. They're the white rice noodles that are common to pho. super tender. Now, super tender is fully cooked. It wasn't hard like in the beginning. And let's try some of that soup. The soup is like a gray color, but it's very fragrant. It has a nice aroma. Okay, it's delicious. It's a little on the salty side, but to me that's acceptable because most photos have a little more salt in it. That's fine. Here's a piece of the brisket. Okay, and let's give this a try. Okay, nice and tender, a little bit overcooked, but that's my fault because I waited for a while. So we're going to try the other pieces pretty soon. Here's the other type of meat. I think this is the steak part, not the brisket, but the steak, because there's a little more fat in this one. Let's see how this is. Now, compared with the first one, this one is much more fatty, much more pleasant in the mouth. It does not taste dry, even though it's overcooked. It still tastes really good, nice and smooth. I have to say that I'm very impressed with the amount of meat that you get in this bowl. I ordered it small. It has to be at least 8 or 9 pieces of meat in this, and they're all pretty much this size. So they're pretty generous. For about $13, you're getting a decent amount of meat. It's not bad. I tried looking for the tendon in this dish. Apparently there's tendon on it. That's what it says on the menu. It is what it looks like. It's actually, I only found 1 piece, but the rest was beef, so it's fine. But let's try this tendon, the 1 piece that I found. Okay, nice and springy and snappy. Not bad, doesn't taste like anything, but it's just a nice thing to chew. We got to the restaurant at around 2 o'clock, and the restaurant was totally crowded. This is a Sunday afternoon, and we had to wait for our table for about 15 minutes. We put our name on a binder, and there was a whole list of people ahead of us, but eventually we got our table. What I can say so far is that the service has been pretty good. The restaurant is definitely crowded, and they're doing what they can with 2 servers that are walking around the dining room. I have nothing to complain about the service. It's been very good and efficient. We also ordered the barbecue pork with spring roll and vermicelli. It's served with the salad, mayo dressing, crushed peanuts, sauteed shallots, and fish sauce. Next dish we ordered is the barbecue pork and vermicelli dish. Now, I took some of the vermicelli off the dish, and this is what it looks like. It's actually just cooked vermicelli, and nothing was done to it. It's just boiled vermicelli. Let's see what it is. Yeah, pretty much like rice. There's no flavor in it, and there's no saltiness to it. Now let's try the barbecue pork. This is what it looks like, and there's a nice shine, nice glistening sheen to it. Let's see what this tastes like. Okay, it's very well cooked. I taste a little sweetness to it, not very salty, and it almost tastes like a Korean bulgogi, but with pork instead. It's not bad, and I would imagine that it's a very nice combination with the vermicelli. Next, we ordered the barbecue chicken on rice dish, which came with salad, mayonnaise dressing, rice, crushed peanuts, and sauteed shallots with the side soup. The next dish we ordered is the barbecue chicken with on top of white rice. So there are about 3 dishes that have different proteins that are on top of rice. It's roast pork, one is pork, one is chicken, and I forgot the other one, but you can look at the menu. This is what the chicken looks like, and once again has this nice little shine to it, and I'm looking at it, and my guess is that it's probably similar to the pork. Let's see. Okay. Now this one is really nice because this is dark meat chicken. It's very juicy. It has less of the sweetness as the pork, but I taste a little bit of pepper, a little bit of soy sauce in there, and I don't know, maybe oyster sauce, but I'm not 100% sure, but it has a slightly different flavor profile than the pork. Now, all I can say is that it's dark meat, and that's a huge plus. Nice and tender to the chew. Here's a look at the roast pork banh mi, and I can feel that this is a nice crispy textured bread, and there's a bunch of veggies and a little salad right there, and we're gonna take a bite in it pretty soon. And finally, the final dish that I'm going to try is the pork banh mi. This is what it looks like. Wow, you can see the glistening pork in this with the pickled vegetables, a crunchy element, and a bunch of cilantro on top. So the sandwich itself is nice. It feels crispy, nice hard shell on the outside, and it's warm. So they definitely toasted this this banh mi. So let's give this a big bite. See if I can open my mouth big enough for this one. Okay. What I can tell you immediately is that the pork has bits of fat that's integrated into the sandwich. I think when they made the sandwich, they wanted to make sure that there was some fat in there to give it a real unctuous feeling in your mouth. The pork itself is seasoned very well, not too salty. I taste the crunch of the vegetables. They didn't put too much in here, I'm surprised, but it seems like it's 75% meat and 25% vegetables, and the rest is bread. Let's give this another chew. I'm going to eat this part right here. Okay. Now that I bit into the bottom part of the sandwich, I see a pickle. There's a pickle down here. It's a little bit sour, crunchy, and actually I like the pickle a little more than these vegetables up here because it's a little more sour. This isn't a bad sandwich. And also, the bread, outside of the bread is super soft. Sorry, the inside of the bread is super soft and the outside is nice and crunchy. Very comforting. Okay, now the visit to Pho Che is finally over, and this is my first time to this restaurant, and I have to say that it's a very solid neighborhood place. There was nothing glaringly bad about the food. It's actually average to above average, and the food is delicious. It's not too sweet, not too oily, there's no extremes in the food. It's just what you expect for a Vietnamese restaurant. Now, what I can specifically say about the pho itself is that I ordered a small with 3 types of beef inside. Everything has been good in there. I may have overcooked it a bit, but everything tasted exactly what I thought it would taste like. I didn't put any of the sauces into my dish because I wanted to taste the original flavor, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with the meat. The only thing that was missing a little bit was the tendon. There wasn't a whole lot of it, but the slices that had more fat in it were absolutely delicious. I can highly recommend the pho that I got, which is the 3 types of beef pho. Now, the other 2 dishes, one was a pork over vermicelli and the other was the beef over rice. I only judge those dishes by the quality of the meat, and I would say both are pretty ordinary, but ordinary can be good. And in this case, they were flavored well, and they weren't under flavored, which I would not like. So I would say they were very good if you decide to order them. And not to mention that they are a little cheaper than the pho dishes. The spring rolls, perfectly fine. I am happy that It's not one of those reheat and serve types of spring rolls. So kudos to them for making their own spring rolls. And finally, I had the banh mi. The banh mi, once again, came in a nice big serving, and it was nice and crunchy, nice and warm, and very warming, very satisfying. And it was a nice big size. And if you come here, you could just eat that, and that's about 10 bucks, and that will definitely make you full. Now, I would say that this is some place that you should give a try, because in this neighborhood of Queens, there aren't that many Vietnamese restaurants, and the ones I've tried have been very ordinary, very actually kind of boring. But this is pretty good because it has banh mi, it has the fast food, and it has the regular food. One thing that I have to tell you is that if you like Vietnamese spring rolls, meaning the ones with a really thin, crackly skin that are served in eighths, you can't get that here. This isn't that kind of restaurant. But the kind of spring rolls that we've got were passable. It was okay. So if you want to look for those types of spring rolls, you have to go somewhere else. I hope you like this video. I hope you like my first foray into a Vietnamese restaurant in this area. And I have many other videos for you in the Queens area and all around New York in the tri-state area. So check out my channel and give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing. Thank you very much, and I'll check you out in the next video. The final check came out to be $76.48 before tip.